My best friend of 15 years wore white to my wedding. What happened next divided our entire friend group forever. Her name was Anya. We met at 16, two awkward teenagers sharing lunch, secrets, and dreams that felt too big for our small town. She knew everything about me, my worst heartbreak, my family drama, the night I cried on her floor because I felt unlovable. When my partner proposed, there was never a question. Anya would stand by my side, or so I thought. On my wedding morning, everything felt unreal in the best way. The venue buzzed with music and laughter. My hands were shaking as my makeup artist worked, and my bridesmaids kept teasing me to calm down. Someone said, "She's here," and I smiled, assuming it was Anya, coming to hype me up like always. Then she walked in. White dress, floor length, lace, elegant, bridal. At first my brain refused to process it. I actually laughed, one of those nervous, confused laughs, because surely this was a joke, a prank, something she'd explain in 2 seconds. She didn't. She hugged me and said, "I hope you don't mind. I just felt like this color suited me best." The room went silent. One bridesmaid stared at the floor. Another whispered, "Is she serious?" My chest felt tight, like the air had been sucked out of the room. I didn't want drama. I didn't want to cry. I especially didn't want a scene on the happiest day of my life. So I swallowed it. I told myself, it's just a dress. Don't ruin your wedding over fabric. But throughout the ceremony, I felt it. People whispering, eyes darting between us. In photos, she stood out like a second bride. At the reception, guests congratulated both of us. One distant relative even asked if we were sharing the spotlight. That was the moment something inside me cracked. During dinner, I quietly pulled her aside and asked her why she did it. Calm voice, no accusations, just hurt. She sighed and said, "You're being dramatic. White doesn't belong to anyone. Besides, you know I hate being invisible." That sentence changed everything. I realized this wasn't a mistake. It was a statement. I asked her to leave. Not loudly, not angrily, just firmly. She laughed at first. Then she got offended. Then she cried, loudly enough for half the hall to notice. Within minutes, our friends had split into camps. Some said I was right, that she crossed a clear boundary. Others said I was cruel, that I embarrassed her, that a real best friend would have let it go. She left in tears. The wedding went on, but it wasn't the same. I smiled in photos. I danced. I laughed. But something precious had slipped through my fingers, and I knew I'd never get it back. In the weeks after, the fallout was worse than I imagined. Group chats exploded. Long friendships ended. People I loved stopped inviting me places. Others blocked her completely. It was like a fault line had been exposed, and one moment had split us all in half. Anya and I never recovered. 15 years of friendship ended over a white dress, but really, it ended over respect, over boundaries, over the quiet realization that love shouldn't compete for attention. Sometimes I look at my wedding photos and feel a small ache, not because of the drama, but because the person who was supposed to protect my joy chose to center herself instead. And that hurt more than any argument ever could.